Hello beautiful souls, welcome to my channel. In today's video we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So a huge thank you to each and every one of you here. Thank you so much for being such a powerful and important part of our virtual community here on YouTube. If you would like to manifest a more specific message from the reading, I recommend liking the video and subscribing to the channel, as these are forms of energetic transference that allow me to pick up more easily on your energy and channel more specifically for you and your situation. I'm going to start by shuffling the Energy Oracle cards deck, and actually before I even started shuffling, I got the Happy Family card at the bottom of the deck. This is my card for union, sometimes possibly in the form of a reunion, so this could be a harmonization of a current or past connection. This could also be someone completely new, but the key about this card is that it resonates with harmony, togetherness, and I'm hearing lightness, feeling a light, high vibrational energy consistently within a certain 3D connection. What I'm getting most strongly is that this is where you are vibrating, energetically speaking. You are on a union timeline, you are connected with this frequency of peace, harmony, and reciprocated energy of support. Because of this, accessing you requires one to align with that energy within themselves. And this is so essential for you to understand at this point on your spiritual path, because if someone wants to find you, connect with you, or be in your life consistently, they have to go within themselves. There is no other way. This is a really beautiful thing from one perspective, because essentially through simply being out in the world, connecting with people, meeting people, and people just existing on this planet, you are pushing and inspiring others to connect more deeply with their innermost selves. However, on the other side of this equation, from your perspective physically, you might often feel as though people are very in and out of your life. You can feel as though, even with friends, co-workers, or family members, sometimes you are really heavily connecting and in alignment in a beautiful way, and other times it will be almost as though these individuals have dropped out of your reality or are in an entirely different dimension. From some perspective they are, because they're on a different timeline. This might give you the feeling as though you are constantly moving between timelines. Yes, you do have the ability to operate on many different timelines simultaneously. This is a really deep message coming through. I feel like we're talking at such a high level, the kind of conversation I sometimes call quantum conversation. This won't be for everyone, but I really feel you're manifesting this. It's not that you're necessarily jumping between timelines, it's that you are existing and operating on many different timelines simultaneously. You have the ability to exist and to operate on multiple different timelines at once. But they're all at a very high vibrational bandwidth, so whether you are operating on past, future, present, or alternate timelines in consciousness, they are all at this really high frequency level. When someone seems to disconnect from you, it's that they've dropped below that bandwidth that you're able to connect with. While you're able to connect with multiple different timelines simultaneously, they all have to have a certain frequency bandwidth that's very high vibrational. So if someone is operating at a lower vibrational level, or maybe they met you or connected with you at a high vibration and now they've dropped back down, they are going to find it incredibly difficult to access you, find you, or connect with you. Even if you are literally living or coexisting in the same physical space. Especially as we continue to collectively ascend, it becomes more and more true that our interactions are energetically based. We can be living with someone and feel completely disconnected from their reality, and on the other side of that coin, we can be thousands of miles away from someone and even rarely physically interact with them, and yet feel extremely bonded and connected to them. This is because we are ascending into higher and higher levels of consciousness, and lately on the planet, collectively and increasingly, we are seeing one another for energy less than for physicality. Most people are unconscious of this, but it's happening for everyone. Most people are not aware that when they look at you, they are seeing you for your soul, for your energy, for what you're projecting energetically, and not so much for what you actually are physically. So when someone calls you attractive or magnetic, or finds you to be very beautiful or handsome, or whatever the case may be appearance-wise, very often what they are actually speaking to, even if they don't realize it, is your soul, the beauty of your soul, and how your spirit projects itself energetically, almost like a projector on a screen, It's like the screen is your physical body, but what you're really seeing is what's projected onto the screen. Now, you are someone at a really high level of consciousness, so you are most likely very much aware of this. You are aware that when you look at another person, what you're seeing is their soul, their energy, and not so much what is that screen, so to speak, that physical aspect to the person. Most people are very unconscious that they are even doing this. I will say that for someone I'm picking up on here, you are coming across as very attractive in a physical sense to many people. This often goes unverbalized, so you might not realize that you have this effect on others or that they're perceiving you in this way. But again, they're not consciously aware that what they're really seeing is your energy, your soul, and that's what they're finding. What they're calling attractive is that literal attraction at the level of energy and frequency, not one physical aspect or component. I'm also getting the sense that you are being invited to see yourself in this way as well. When you perceive yourself, remember that you are more energy, soul, and vibration than anything else, and focus on cultivating that energy of love, self-love, empowerment, creativity, and inspiration within yourself. Love yourself for all of those qualities and perceive the beauty you emanate simply as a result of the soul that you are, of the energy that you carry, and release any fixation on any physical aspect or component of you because you are such a magnificent, beautiful, attractive soul. You have that energy. I feel that I might be speaking to someone who, at times, possibly because of lingering childhood trauma or people who may have criticized or judged you appearance-wise in the past, you might at times internalize or judge yourself in certain ways. I feel that part of your soul's journey has been continuing to release those self-judgments and to see yourself as the beautiful soul that you are, as this highly magnetic, attractive energy that you carry, because that's how many others are perceiving you at this time. Now keep in mind that although that's how you're being perceived, there are many who are simply not capable of perceiving you because they are existing at such a different energy bandwidth. That has to be allowed as well, and that has to be surrendered to, in a sense, because if someone isn't able to perceive you, see you, or recognize your beauty or your magnetism, very often this is because they are quite literally not at the level of bandwidth to perceive you, fully understand you, or interact with you. This doesn't mean that they won't ever be at that level. It simply means that for whatever reason in the moment, they are almost existing in this entirely different dimension and therefore incapable of fully perceiving you or understanding you, even when you're right in front of them. We also have the action card, and I see things beginning to pick up, things beginning to move forward in your life. Specifically, these may be things that have felt stuck for quite some time. So if you've been stuck on a specific person or situation, or there's been something in your life that's just seemed very stagnant, I feel that energy is going to begin to pick up and start moving, but it's a very intuitive and psychic process of forward movement and action. When this action comes, when this inspiration to act comes within you, or when this stuck situation moves forward, it's not going to happen from a push energy. It's not going to happen from a place of trying to push things into place or trying to control things. It's not even going to happen from the level of the mind. It's going to happen as you are in flow, following your intuition and following those inspired impulses within yourself. Now, I know this stuck situation that's going to begin to pick up is going to be very different from person to person. We have community in the reverse position, so someone might be spending a lot of time alone recently. I'm also picking up High Priestess energy around this. I'm hearing communing with the divine, so while you've pulled back into some solitude or alone time, you might be really reconnecting with the divinity within yourself, with whatever spiritual forces you personally connect with, whether those are guides, the universe, or your higher self. We have the thinking man here, so there is someone that you are spiritually connected to, because there's a divine connection here sitting on the crown chakra who has been heavily fixated on you or thinking about you, which has resulted in them sending you a lot of energy that you're picking up on. With yin-yang reversed, this may be a twin flame for some of you, or this could just be a very high-level soulmate, but there's a lot of energy flowing here, and I'm hearing the word frozen. Maybe you caused this person to stop in their tracks, to feel frozen in their tracks. I'm getting this deer in the headlights kind of sensation, almost like something was so bright it was blinding and it caused them to freeze instead of responding to it. That's how they felt around you. They feel like you've been this blinding light that has come into their life out of nowhere and caused them to have that deer in the headlights response where they are just frozen in place. And yet they're thinking of you heavily. We have attachment. This person might be experiencing some heavy energy or attachments in their life that might be part of why they're frozen in place. There's almost this sense of this is such a blinding, beautiful light, and I'm dealing with these other heavy attachments that I don't know what to do with. So they're feeling really stuck, really unsure how to move this forward, or even if they can, is what I'm getting from some of them. I know we're tapping into a bit of a specific energy here, but for those of you connecting with this, I want to know more about these attachments. There's something about worth and value within this person, a heaviness around their own worth or value, or something being undervalued. Maybe they are not earning what they feel they're worth, or in general they feel a sense of lack of value within themselves. They might have self-esteem issues if this isn't a lack of material things. For many of them, this may be related to feeling like they're not being properly compensated for their work in the workplace or when it comes to their life path, materially speaking. Interestingly, for some reason I'm hearing always giving more than they're getting. So if it's not material or work related, maybe in relationships they've been in situations where they were really soft-hearted and gave a lot to the other person but always seemed to come up empty-handed. So now they're afraid to give to anything or anyone, and they've been holding back. We also have all tied up reversed in man holding a heart. So while this situation has seemed very convoluted, once again I'm getting the sense of stuck energy breaking loose and this causing them to open their heart in some way. I want to get into how this person is going to be opening their heart, but I have to say here as well, somehow this community reverse card, this solitude, seems to be essential to this person opening their heart. Maybe it's their own solitude, maybe they need to get grounded in their own time, through some time when they are alone or in solitude. Maybe recently things have been stuck because they haven't had the chance to do that, because they've been surrounded by many other people and many different energies. This also could be your own solitude. Because of how spiritually connected you and this individual are, you seem to process things mutually in a sense. So whatever one is processing, the other seems to feel or facilitate in some way, whether they're realizing that they're doing that or not, and vice versa. For example, if one of you is going through a lot or having a difficult day because of the way you're energetically connected, the other might suddenly start feeling really tired, like they just need to lay down. And they don't know why. In a sense, they are assisting in energetically processing. There is this back and forth, this kind of yin-yang energy flowing between the two of you. I'm strongly getting that someone I'm connecting to here does have some soulmate, twin flame or divine counterpart, someone they're deeply spiritually connected to and exchanging energy with. They are processing or assisting this other soul in processing things through their own mind, energy, or physical body, which of course are all connected. So if you've been feeling unusually tired, needing to take time in solitude or alone with yourself, maybe you've been sleeping more than usual or relaxing more. This actually might be because of the energy that you are assisting this other soul in processing when they are in a situation where, because of all the stimulation or energies around them, they aren't able to do that processing fully for themselves at the time. I know this is really strange. This is giving me the sense of you being very energetically bonded to someone you're very much aware of. Most likely, this person is often at the forefront of your mind, even when you're trying to focus elsewhere or trying not to think about them. All of that has to do with the energy bond here. What you need to know is that this other person has been feeling it too. There is mutuality here. However, they've been so externally stimulated by something going on in their life that's requiring a lot of focus and attention, creating a lot of stress. They've not been able to fully process emotionally, mentally, or energetically what's going on here in the same way that you have. But I do see that processing taking place. It might require them some solitude, some time where they are alone with themselves. I'm hearing peace will bring new beginnings. So once this person establishes more peace within themselves, once their life calms down from whatever these external stimuli are, I see blossoming abundance, meaning them planting in a very aligned direction here. And them beginning to move in a more aligned direction. There's a gentleness to this unfolding. It feels like it has to happen in alignment. It can't be forced. This can't happen before this individual goes through the processing they need to go through energetically. Your connection is very energetically sensitive in the sense that this is a high-level bond, whether it is a high-level soulmate or twin flame. As a result of that, just like a fine-tuned instrument, it requires a certain level of care, a certain level of expertise. In this case, this so-called expertise is both of you being in a place mentally, emotionally, and energetically where you can handle this level of fine-tuning. I'm trying to find the words for it. This is just such a high-frequency connection that it almost requires the very best of both of you. If this person was in a space physically where they couldn't put their best foot forward, they would actually go cold on you in the physical or seem to disconnect because this connection requires them to give their best. It requires them to put their best foot forward. Let's reshuffle the cards here. I want to get some specifics on how this person is going to be opening their heart. How are they going to be opening their heart? I'm hearing sudden. When it happens, it might seem very sudden. It might occur when you least expect it. It might be very long delayed for some of you, or maybe it's already felt very long delayed in the physical world. We have the card pause. You felt put on pause by this person, or you felt like this situation is on pause. If that is the case, the message for you on this card says calmness, step back, wait for a sign. I feel that whatever's happened here, the ball is very firmly in this person's court. There have been some exchanges in the past that I feel I'm just hearing it's done, it's completed. Meaning not that this connection is done because it feels far from that, but that whatever you've done in regards to this person is enough in the physical. Whatever you've said or how you've interacted, I feel I'm hearing you hit it just perfect. You did exactly what you needed to do I'm hearing, to give this person the green light to signal to them that you're showing up, that you're there, that you're ready. Now it's their turn. Now the ball is in their court. I'm hearing no more action is required from you right now, so maybe you've been intuitively feeling that this is a time for you to surrender, detach, step back into your power, and wait for a sign. It's like you gave this person a signal, and they are meant to be signaling back to you. I'm literally seeing people in different buildings signaling to each other with lights or candles through a window. It's almost like you signaled to this person and now you're waiting for a signal back. If you were to keep making signals, it would just muddy the situation. It would be confusing and wouldn't allow this person the time and space to do what they need to do in order to be in a place where they can give you that signal back. We have the card regret in the reverse, the realization that's going to push this person forward into opening their heart more towards you is that they're going to realize that if they don't, they're going to live in regret. Can I get more information on this? With blessings reversed, it's like they're going to realize you are the greatest blessing or gift that's ever entered their life, but they did something to delay or reject it. If they don't do something to connect with the blessing of getting to know you or having you in their life in some capacity, they are going to be living in regret. What else can I channel here? We have masculine and perception. If this person is more so the masculine in the connection now, do keep in mind we all have a balance internally of both masculine and feminine energy, but I feel that if they are the masculine and you are more so the feminine here, this is someone who has had their perception warped through toxic masculinity or through what are perceived to be hyper-masculine views of relationships, love, the world, or themselves. For some reason, I keep seeing masculine inspiration or motivational content that this person might be absorbing. Some of this content might actually veer into toxic masculinity, meaning the idea that a masculine always has to be kind of cold and closed off emotionally, or ideas around how to attract a feminine that are very 3D or very superficial. It's almost like they're trying to overlay this warped perception that has come from this toxic masculinity programming onto you and onto relating with you and communicating with you, but it doesn't fit because you don't operate in that way. You are a divine feminine if you are the feminine in this connection. I know we're getting more specific, but let's say you're the divine feminine. You are a feminine that does not respond to appearances. You respond to what you're picking up from someone energetically and how that's aligning with their physical words and actions. Both are necessary for you to move forward with a particular person, whether it's a friend, family member, or lover. I will say that in the past you may have been more so in your wounded feminine. In the past, it's possible that you would have used your feminine intuitive capabilities to pick up on what's going on with someone energetically, what they're feeling towards you energetically, and to respond to the energy alone. You're very energetically perceptive and intuitive, so you have the ability to sense when someone desires you, admires you, or wants to be in your life, even if they aren't willing to align their words and actions in the physical with that energy they're feeling internally. But now there's been this major pivot that's taken place as you've balanced your internal masculine and feminine energy. Yes, you're still able to sense the highest potential of a connection and what someone is really thinking and feeling internally, but you're also holding the standard for their words and actions to align with that deeper level of authenticity. Both are necessary. You can't just do one or the other when it comes to connections. What I mean by this is that you're not going to respond solely to energy. If you feel someone does care about you, love you, admire you, but they're not showing you that support actively in the physical, you're not going to be the bridge in that case. But at the same time, you also don't allow action physically that doesn't align with what's going on in that person or connection energetically. So when someone is trying to romance you, or even in a non-romantic situation, when someone is trying to say or do all the right things to be in your life, but the energy beneath the surface feels off, you also don't respond to exclusively 3D-based action in those cases. Both are required. Someone has to have that deeper level of authentic respect for you spiritually and a desire to connect with you in a mutually reciprocated way. But it also must be backed up with words, actions, and movements in the physical world. I feel like this is a masculine who is on the side where they are feeling all of the energy internally, and you're even able to pick up on some of their exact wounds that are preventing them from taking action physically. But the action or the communication physically just hasn't been there at this moment. So you're still holding that standard for alignment to occur within this person between what they're feeling and thinking toward you and how they're behaving in the physical. Very powerful messages are coming through here. I do want to go a lot deeper into these energies in the extended version of the reading on Patreon. So if this resonates with you and you'd like more information about how this masculine is thinking and feeling, how the two of you are relating, and the strongest futuristic timeline potentials regarding how your connection might move forward based on the current energies, then the link to the extended reading on Patreon is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. For now, I am going to close this first reading on YouTube with one final Rumi Oracle card. This card is one I heard do it merging into oneness. Maybe this is your own internal duality, your masculine and feminine aspects, and how those aspects have been balancing and merging into oneness. Maybe this is you merging into oneness or connectedness with another individual. Regardless, I am going to read a little from the guidebook here. I have abolished duality from myself. I have seen the two worlds as one. One I seek, one I know, one I see, and one I call Rumi. Like molten gold poured from the furnace of divine love into a one-of-a-kind mold, you are created uniquely and of divine essence. You are both the lover and the beloved. There is no aspect of your life separate from your spiritual journey. And there is no aspect of you that is not of divine origin. So then why the frowning, the fear, or the questioning? Let me share a sublime secret with you. Let me whisper it into your heart now. There is nothing to fear. All is unfolding according to the divine genius. And there is a sweet shift in store for you. You must remember that you are a living heart, the dweller at the center between heaven and earth, star and soil, light and dark. That feels like a beautiful place to close this reading. Thank you so much for tuning in to the reading today. If anything did resonate with you, I would love to hear from you in the comments under the video. And of course, if you haven't already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. If you are continuing with me now over to the extended Patreon reading, the link to join our beautiful Patreon Soul Tribe is in the pinned comment and description box underneath this video. Otherwise, I am sending you all so much love and light energy. Have a beautiful remainder of your day and weekend.